10 of the greatest men in Jewish history committed one of the greatest sins in Jewish history. Now, how could such a thing happen? That's what I want to talk about. Because I think that there's one seemingly small detail which contains within it the secret of how such great men could possibly have fallen so low. And that seemingly small detail is the order in which their names were listed. Because while that may seem sort of irrelevant, it would only be irrelevant if the Torah was written by a person, God forbid. But being that it was written by Hashem, with the uppermost divine wisdom imaginable, something like the order of the names has profound meaning to it. And looking within that for understanding, well, that's a worthwhile endeavor, because we see that their names were not listed in order of the ages of the tribes, nor was it based on their positions in the camp or anything clear to us. And by the way, these emissaries turned spies were not the Nesi'im. They were not the princes. I used to think that they were actually the princes because I wasn't reading carefully, but it wasn't the princes of the tribes as we would have expected. The names listed were the names of the greatest spiritual leaders, the greatest spiritual luminaries in each tribe. And they were listed in order of their spiritual greatness, with the greatest obviously being Shammua, son of Zachur of the tribe of Reuven, which is listed first. So this is like the dream team of spiritual greats among the nation of Israel. And where did Caleb and Joshua rank? You ready for this? You could just look in the text and see it yourselves. They were not ranked numbers 1 and 2 as we would have thought. No. Caleb ranked 3rd and Joshua was ranked 5th. That's right. Caleb was number 3 and Joshua was number 5. And I spent a lot of Shabbat reflecting on exactly that. I discussed it with Jeremy a lot. If they were not the greatest spiritually of this group, then what was it about them that made them who they were? What was it about them that allowed them to pass this test with flying colors and merit to be the only ones that are able to enter the Holy Land? Because again, if it's not about spiritual standing, then what is it all about? So Rav Biederman brings a teaching that the distinguishing factor that differentiated Caleb and Joshua from the other 10 emissaries turned spies was their degree of humility. Right? They were the most aware that no matter how spiritually evolved they may be, without Hashem's help and without praying to Hashem and asking for that help, they will fail. The other spies, they may have been humble, I'm sure that they were, but I think they got confused. They knew their greatness and they were just honest about that. Part of humility is being able to see your strengths and your greatness, and they knew their greatness, and they must have determined that this test was a test that they could pass on their own, right? That they didn't need to turn to Hashem for this one. But Joshua and Caleb knew that without turning to Hashem, they had no chance.